Welcome to this review and overview of the VECTOR9 binary option system at Binary Options Authority. So let me just move that down there. And I'm going to just review and overview. What does that mean? I'm just going to tell you about the system so you can go look at more information if you're interested in it. And if you want to put it to use, you can buy it and just start learning it and, put it to use. What's the learning curve on this system? Well, to understand the system, it's going to take you, 30 minutes, an hour. You have to go through the videos, right? And then you need to see how it's traded on a price chart and, study it historically. And then when you start seeing that, hey, wait a minute, this is actually lining up. This actually works. Then you can gain confidence. And see, you need to believe in the method in order to actually start trading it, right? Because you're not going to take the action to trade it unless you believe in it. So, another thing is that you want to make sure you're learning the system correctly. So it's just really easy for students just to kind of see something or hear something and just kind of skip ahead, it's like not reading the instruction manual. A lot of people are like that these days. And you dive in, you trade some cockamamie thing, which isn't even the system, and then you make a mess. Then you say, oh, it doesn't work. That's just, you hear that a lot. So then, how do I say that? Well, when we hear a student say something like that or who has a problem, we say, okay, well, let's actually go see if you know the system. Here, draw do a screenshot and draw all the entries. And then you get something back that looks like, some sort of, I don't know what they were thinking. So you get some sort of strange thing back, and they didn't even learn this system. So by them being whatever, rushed, I hate to say lazy, but by them just not learning it well, then they not only mess the system up, they cause themselves frustration and disappointment, but also because they went through that and then they experienced a negative emotion. Now they have a negative emotion associated to that system. But if they would have simply taken the few extra moments to, make sure they get all the steps down, then they see, whoa, this is actually good. This is actually solid. It just keeps winning. When they do that to that point of diligence, which isn't really that much work, then they can go on and start applying the system. See, but if you experience a negative emotion, then you just kind of threw it away, and just, said some grumbling things, says, oh, it's a scam. Then all of a sudden you had something valuable there that could have, retired you. Okay, how could a system such as this retire you? Now, I can't make you future promises for future returns. Okay, all that stuff, disclaimer. But we make good stuff here, all right? We make good, solid systems, and we build them to stand the test of time so we can use them too. So we have here an example of the track record. Now, how do you trade this in the 20-minute expiration? Well, this is an at-the-money approach, okay? That's what ATM stands for here. Now, what's at-the-money and NADEX? It's just, you're always moving around with those strikes, right? Well, it's the closest thing to the at-the-money. And really, if you're in doubt, it's probably better to go on this slightly in the money side, but not too in the money. So if something's at like 58, then okay, you know what? We're better off for that because we just raise our chance of winning. Because why? This is a momentum-based strategy or system. Okay, we traded momentum. And you can see here how these line up. Now here's a performance sample in time of this method. Okay, these are all according to the W's are for wins, L's for losses. This is all according to the exact system rules. All right. So now we have two instruments you can contrast. This is actually the Dow. Okay, we forgot to include the YM in there, so I'm looking at the original sheet. So you can see here the same time frame. That's NQ, or the US Tech 100, and this is the Dow 30. Okay, so you can see the wins versus losses. I mean, it's pretty good. Actually, that's really good. This is for all day too. So we have this method that's a little bit more on the precise side. You have different methods that can churn out more volume of trades, but have a lot of beginners. I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, some aggressive beginners will go for the high volume trade systems, but most beginners and intermediates want to kind of slow it down and have a more precise approach. Why? Well, because maybe they're not used to consistently winning, making money, and they may have a small account. So just imagine if you can start on this day with VECTOR9 and any of a small account. Let's just say you put a couple $100 in there, and you were just hoping something worked out. Hey, you're just hoping you get on a roll right from the start. I mean, and if you ran into this 16 wins in one lost day, hey, now that's the way to start. But then again, if you look at all of these days, all right, look how they all start. Here's 1 loss, 2 loss, and you get a bunch of wins. This is probably the roughest patch day right here, where you have 2, but you quickly recoup that. Okay, you stay in the game with a small account, just getting started, and then you're able to still net out a sweet profit by the end of the day. Okay, so that's looks great, right? So you have a total of 67 wins versus 15 losses in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess we did an extra day on this one. Okay, so here you have 61 wins and 14 losses for a net 47, net 52, net 47. So this is really good, and it's a 20-minute expiration, so you get to have some action and see your returns pretty quickly. Anyways, this is a very solid approach. I would highly suggest you put this to work. Okay, and because why? Because I know what the system is. So therefore, if you're looking for a really good, solid approach that could potentially make you a lot of money, and of course, what's a lot of money? If you're starting with 1 contract, then just divide this by 10 because this is based on 10 contracts. Okay, just for a picture, 10 contracts. But hey, as you start rolling and you start building your account, eventually you can, when you build your account up, then you want to increase your position size in correlation to your account size. So that means that if your account grows and grows and grows, you want to start moving that from 10 to 20 to 30 to 50 to 100 contracts. So if you're trading 100 contracts, what do you do versus 10 contracts? Okay. So you have 4,500 times 10. So, wow. So just imagine making $45,000 in a day. Right? And then being able to, kind of average that out. I mean, if you look at each day here, you can pretty much say the average is 4,500 a day, according to this performance sample. And I'm not promising you future returns and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay. So, but with this type of entry mechanism. And again, these are according to the system's rules. Hey, I mean, it's a nice high probability chance. Okay, look, if you go into business, if you go into bricks and mortar business, it costs a lot of money and it takes a ton of time. All right, and it's a nonstop worry. Well, it depends on the business you do. Okay, now a lot of people doing online business. Online business depends on so many factors, and it seems like it would be easy, but until you get it established, it can be a ton of work too. And then things change. SEO changes, search engine rankings change. And then the ad platform kicks you off because they don't like your ads anymore. And so on and so forth, and this and that. And you go through all these changing things all the time. And then, or a competitor comes and copies your stuff and, pops off and then, or does something similar, or just kicks your tail in marketing, whatever. So, I mean, but just imagine being able to just say, well, forget all that headache and chasing of the tail. Let's just trade the markets. I don't have to engage with anyone. I don't have to, depend on anyone except me just showing up and paying attention. All right. So, if you're able to generate something like this, well, hey, you better let us know. Okay. We want to hear your success story. Because some of our students have some really impressive success stories, and this is an evolution of a prior system that we had or have that one student was able to do very well, and he just said, "Man, I'm so glad I found you guys because your system allowed me and my wife, family, to live a lifestyle we never would have been able to live." And that's cool, okay? And this is a higher level system than that. So, I don't know, maybe it could work for you. Anyways, you can scroll down, click add to cart, and if you ever bought a franchise, this is a tiny fraction of that price, okay, of a franchise, right? And this has far greater income potential, even compared to the most fancy franchises, like McDonald's. Okay, so hey, yeah, we should start raising our prices, but I don't know. Maybe we did by the time you hear this. But if you see this and you can swing it, I would certainly look to put this to work. Okay, because why? Because I know what the system is. So therefore, you would definitely appreciate putting this to work. All right, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.